I'm TheManWhatReviews, and this is The Reviewer. In my last episode, I reviewed a Lego store, and in this episode I'll be reviewing a new topic as decided by the votes cast on the question I posted on my Facebook page. In this episode, I will be reviewing the Horrible Histories franchise, and I'll also take a look at some of the spin-offs. And as usual, I'm going to give some history before I start the review. In this case, I'll be starting with Horrible Histories itself. Horrible Histories first started out as a series of books written by Terry Deary, Neil Tong and Peter Hepplewhite. They were illustrated by Martin Brown, Mike Phillips and Philip Reeve, and they were first published in June 1993 by Scholastic. This was one of, if not the first book published, called The Terrible Tudors, and I picked this one up because the Tudors is my favourite time period in British history so far. The series has proved very successful, and by 2007 the books were republished with a new look. They had added information on the back cover, a redesigned front cover, and they featured an index. Terry Deary uses researchers for Horrible Histories, and while reading for the books he immerses himself in the period, taking more information than needed. The teacher can also be tested in the section Test Your Teacher, where you can ask them some obscure questions and see how many questions they'll get right. I never did, but maybe I should have. Horrible Histories also published books called 2 in 1. My example is the First World War and the Second World War together. It's a hardback rather than the usual, and it's thicker because there's 2 of them. Also published was the Horrible Histories specials. This is Cruel Kings and Mean Queens, and as you can see, it's got the special little thing there, so that's pretty cool. I picked that up because I'm also interested in the kings and queens of the time. The first Horrible Histories video game was published in Germany, and the title was called Schauderhafte Geschichten, and the Dutch series Wahnsinnig om te weten, which is amazing to know, was an adaptation of horrible geography and horrible science. Other languages in the series include Thai, Spanish and Welsh, and one of the first additions to the franchise was a series of magazines. In 2003, Terry Deary released the Horrible Histories magazine collection based on his Horrible Histories books. Originally planned to be 60 issues, there were 20 more added, but I did stop at 60, which is a decision I now regret. They came in these files, and that's a Christmas edition, but aside from that there was 30 in each file. There's 31 in the other one because I have another special. I'm still missing one, so make that 2 out of 3, it's not bad. If I'd have carried on to 80, it would have been 3 of these rather than 2, and I would have needed it because this is falling apart. As you can see, there's the special, which is another Cruel Kings and Mean Queens. In each magazine you got a card, which was really cool. You had Rotten Rulers, Mad and Bad, Kooky and Spooky, Death and Disaster, and my favourite was Flip and Flick, because they were like, yeah, you could flick them around and they would change. This one is based on the Pilgrim Fathers look. I'm trying to look at myself. They have a turkey, and when you flip it over, the turkey is being eaten. So that was funny. It also came with a timeline. The timeline was really cool. You got family trees, such as this one, awesome ancestors like the early men and all that. And you also, there's a rotten roundup, and you have a timeline of things that have happened, the description, dates along the top, and some pictures there. So that's really cool. Whoops, that fell out. With issue 60, which was the original last episode, they gave out this timeline of all the kings and queens of England. Empress Matilda is mentioned, but not shown as a queen, and Lady Jane Grey is not on here. As you can see, it's very long, top to bottom. Yeah, so that was really cool. Reminds me of the Monarch song from the show, which I have learned word for word, start to finish, so that's really awesome. Yeah, that's everything. There have also been 3 special magazines in the series, but as I said, I missed one of those 2. I wish I had it. It was the Victorian Crime and Punishment. A new Horrible Histories magazine series was launched in the UK in October 2012 and was published by Immediate Media Company, and Horrible Histories has been adapted for TV 3 times. The first was an animated series in 2001, I remember it, do you? Second is a live action series which started in 2009, which I believe is still on air, and the third is called Gory Games, which is a children's game show and is a spin-off to the 2009 series. Now I'll be moving on to the spin-offs of the Horrible History books. First off, we have Horrible Geography, which is a series of books written by Anita Ganeri and illustrated by Mike Phillips, and they were published in the UK also by Scholastic. They're designed to get children interested in geography by concentrating on the trivial, unusual or unpleasant, and the specials are bigger than the regular books. That's the special, that's the regular book, as you can see. They're not thinner. The regular is Freaky Peaks and the special is Intrepid Explorers. No 2-in-1 books for me. And in order to follow with the main series, Horrible Geography underwent a makeover, similar to that of Horrible Histories, changing the cover on one of their books. Horrible Science is another spin-off series and is written by Nick Arnold and illustrated by Tony DeSouls, and are published in the UK and in India by Scholastic. They're designed to get children interested in science by concentrating on the trivial, unusual or unpleasant. There are also 2-in-1 versions, which is Ugly Bugs and Nasty Nature. This is the regular, Disgusting Digestion, as you can see, a lot thicker, and the special, Suffering Scientists, and that is indicated by the little thing here that says special. The 2-in-1 versions are also accompanied by 3-in-1 versions, 10-in-1 versions, and even one with 20. That's just mental. And the designs of the books have changed since they've been published to follow that of Horrible History and Horrible Geography. There's also a magazine collection to the series which I started but stopped after only a few issues. I also regret doing that as well. There have also been 3 special magazines, but I haven't got a clue what they are because I didn't go in far enough to find out. Like the Horrible Histories magazines, the Horrible Science ones proved so popular they added a 20 to the original 60, so that took the count to 80. To close, I am a huge fan of the Horrible franchise, especially Horrible Histories, and I won't lie, I like the show too. I mean, I'll watch it if it's on. I had no shame in saying that I learned a greater variety of my vast history knowledge from Horrible Histories rather than in school, and I would greatly recommend the book and TV show to anyone who asked. I would definitely consider buying some new titles, and I would recommend them to anyone who asked. I might have already said that. I'd love to work on the show as well, because everyone looks like they have great fun. See if you can master the mnemonic song, because I know I have. So that's all for this episode. Be sure to like this video, like it, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to watch all my other videos, and remember, you can like me on Facebook.